Hi guys, let me show you how to make this catfish banga soup that tastes so good. You're welcome to my channel if you're new here, and thank you for stopping by if you are a returning subscriber. Let's get into it. To cook banga soup, you have two options to choose from. The first option is to extract your banga paste from scratch, while the second option is to buy the already processed banga paste from the market or from any vendor that you know. Okay, if you're going for the first option, that means you have to buy your palm fruits from the market. Now, whenever you go to the market to buy your palm fruit, always look out for the very ripe and fleshy palm fruit. That is the type of palm fruit that will give you a good banga paste. Now, this type of palm fruit is what we call aduege yup in my dialect, which is Ibibio. Now, what you're seeing on the screen is 1,500 naira. Yes, I got all the palm fruit that you're seeing on the screen for 1,500 naira in Lagos. Here, I'm transferring the well-washed palm fruit into the pot that I'll be cooking it in. Then I'm going to pour in water. The water has to be a little bit above the palm fruit. Okay, now I'm just going to cover that and allow it to cook. Next, I'm transferring the cooked palm fruit into the mortar, then I'll proceed to pound. This is what it should look like after pounding. Next, I'm pouring in warm water. Know that the quantity of water that you add depends on the quantity of soup that you're making. At this point, I'm supposed to be mixing this with my hand, but it is still very hot, so I can't dip my hand in it. So I'm using this turning stick to just mix everything properly. This is the consistency of paste that I want. I'm going to sieve out the chaff, filter the paste, and set it aside. In a pot placed on fire, I'm pouring in the banga paste that I extracted earlier. I know when you heard catfish banga soup, you thought I was not going to add any extra protein, but this was a client order and the person requested for Kpomo and stockfish as well. So I added the stockfish and I added the Kpomo that I cooked earlier. I always love to season and cook my Kpomo before I use it to cook, so I don't just add it directly like that. I mean, when you season and cook it, it gives a very good taste and it makes your Kpomo to be very soft. The next ingredients I'll be adding is the banga stick, banga spice, blended crayfish, and blended fresh pepper. I'm adding enough pepper because this soup is going to have fresh catfish in it, and we all know that any meal that has fresh catfish in it has to be spicy. Now, in my place, Kpomo State, we don't use the banga stick and banga spice to make our own version of banga soup, which we call eferaba or Atama. Instead of the banga stick and the spice, we use uyayak. Now, the leaf we use for our own banga soup is either the fresh Atama leaf or the dried one. So that's the only difference. After adding all the ingredients, I'm going to give it a good stir and let it cook. I don't cover my banga soup when cooking it, I leave it open. While the soup is cooking, here I have the well-washed catfish that I'll be using for this soup. I'm just going to add this gently into the soup. You can see that the oil is floating already. That is when to add your catfish, when the soup is almost ready, because catfish doesn't take time to cook. It takes about 6 to 7 minutes for it to cook. If you cook it for a long time, it is going to scatter. Okay, so you want to time it perfectly. Now for the oil, what I always do when it's too much like this, I always take some of it out of the soup. You can leave it if you want, okay, but I always take it out. Now this is why I emphasize on buying the very ripe and fleshy palm fruits, because this is what you get. It produces lots of oil when cooking your banga soup. So I'm just going to take that out and let the soup cook for another 5 minutes. Now this is the point where you should add your Beletientein leaves, which is what the Delta people use to make their banga soup, or Atama leaf. I used dried Atama leaf that I washed with hot water because that was what the client wanted. After adding it, I started to mix and let the soup cook for another 5 minutes, and guys, banga soup is ready. Look at the catfish, look at the soft Kpomo. Everything was just giving back to back. Is it not entering your eyes? I hope you try out this recipe because you're really going to love it. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to drop a comment in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, trust me, you don't want to miss all these recipes that I have for you this year. Kindly tap on the subscribe button down below to subscribe so you get to watch more amazing recipes. Thanks for watching. Bye.